for this best of 3.
Yes, sir.
A win streak on the line between Fnatic Onic Philippines and Team Liquid Philippines. Leo and Naisu here calling the match. Joseph, what do you think? Both teams are rocking dive comps.
Yeah, both teams are, and I almost want to I want to talk about what the panel did too. Like, yeah, for Sanji, I don't know. If I was playing the Valentina, I'd be like, do I want all these ultimate options? Or do I just want a couple? You know, what? Like, which is better to have? All the options, or just one or two?
It's like a kid in a candy store.
Exactly.
Look at all that. Worst case scenario, you want the exports, right?
Yeah.
But as it is, we're taking a look at the emblem sets, and all I could really see, and what's bothering me is all 4 members of Team Liquid PH, save for Carl Teasy, are rocking flickers, man.
They are. And also to note, this is going to be a little bit different in a way of a version from Sanford with a Phoveus because he doesn't have Vengeance, right? He's rolling with a Flicker.
I wonder.
Instead, still the Brave Smite emblem though too. So, and again, it pairs well with the Tigreal. Like you both have these. Well, TLPH has tanky frontline. Oh,
you were saying
right when we were going to get to see something unfold. You know, we got to take a breather, of course, while they figure things out. But yeah, I think that's going to be a problem because Phoveus, like you mentioned earlier during that draft, he's kind of like the standout hero right now. Keeps popping up, and I think teams are going to be forced to either ban him out, pick him up at some point. But pairing up with a Tigreal, this makes things scary if the scaling happens in favor for TLPH. But I think, like they said in the panel, I thought it was going to be a team fight. I guess they just, you know, kind of disengaged from it. But I guess going back to the point too, yeah, for Fnatic here, it's like, how do you make this time for King Kong? All right, hold on. Brusco! Wow, he takes a ton of damage. Has to flicker out defensively, too.
Call it a TKO.
That's tough, man.
He had to spend his flicker and got sent home, and he can't be in on time for the turtle.
He's just going to go and get as much health as he can and heal up with a motivational roar.
He's going to haul butt right now. Look at this.
I don't think he's going to make it in time. Yeah, they're better off just calling off. Carl Teasy knows it. TLPH gets the first objective here, and that's kind of the risk of anytime you pick up a Ling, he's so reliant on that purple buff too. You know, you got to make sure that the timings on everything follows suit with that.
Yep. Again, say what you will about how he's one of the more in-demand heroes. He keeps getting banned out in drafts, but I don't know if I'm going to say this right, but he's fragile.
He's fragile.
He's very fragile in the early game.
As some of you on the chat might be, well, that's not how you pronounce it. I pronounce it fragile. Or is it agile? Agile.
I hear it's of a French origin. But looking at it again, see, look, TLPH are taking advantage of that.
Oh, hey, Brusco, you got away with it once. It's not going to happen again. Gets punished.
I understand why. Even Super Prince isn't ready for it. There really isn't much of a front line for Fnatic Onic to allow for the free hits off of those spells. And really, there's not much damage in Super Prince's kit just yet.
Yeah, they definitely need some more time here. And already with some of the delay they're doing, they're playing around it. Frontal Pursuit going to be used. Sanford jumps back in, looking for Kirk possibly. Woo! But he can't deal with this. Tempest Blade's going to be used under the turret, trying to pick up the kill. King Kong will help Kirk stay alive.
The human calculator did not take into consideration the turret. He could have gotten the 2v1, maybe, but against the turret.
Maybe if he had Vengeance.
Maybe if he had Vengeance. And so far, we haven't yet gotten the answer as to why 40 chose the Flicker. Yeah. Maybe it's to close the gap. Maybe it's to chase, you know, a slippery Ling, or
could be.
One could assume.
Could be a couple things. Again, it's still early on in the game, so we'll see how Sanford decides to play that out. But that time around, you know, his plan got snuffed out. So we're back to it. Turtle's going to be up here, though, 5 seconds or so. And I think this one, obviously, for Fnatic, they can contest it. Some early poking going on in the gold lane.
Interesting first pickup for Kirk here. On that X-Borg, the Brute Force Breastplate. More often you would see an early War Axe or an early Immortality, if you understand that it's a dead lane. But here he picks up the Brute Force Breastplate. Might be the new direction for the X-Borg in the new meta game. Turtle already spawned. Carl Teasy first to the scene. Brusco sees everything. And JP with an implosion!
JP jumps in. Brusco having a hell of a time on this Minotaur. Continues to get picked off and pointed at. Turtle for the taking here. King Kong, though, going to jump in, possibly get some information, but he's way too low. Not sure if he's going to get time. He'll find Sanford, though. Sanford again, this time King Kong will pick him up. Tempest Blade's gonna be dropped down, and somehow he gets the turtle, but is he gonna be able to get away with his life? He can't. And Sanji took the last Insanity and gets the ranged attack with the X-Borg.
It's going on!
Mid lane again, Brusco finds a couple members, popping them to Fury, but he's gonna have to back off. So both sides finding some form of win here or another.
Nothing comes for free. Team Liquid PH understood the assignment, and they took as much as they could on the way out. It was so close too. King Kong could have gotten away with it for free if it wasn't for the love tap by Sanji. I think even Carl or Benny couldn't have finished the job, but no, it had to be Sanji. Look at that, 3 and all the kills so far in the first 6 minutes of the game for Team Liquid PH have gone in the hands of Sanji.
It's always why we always point out the San duo. You know, anytime we talk about Liquid Echo here, the way that they play, the way they move around as a team, they cover all the fronts. And Fnatic Onic is a team that can do that too. You know, this time around, they'll get what they can across the map. Nothing too crazy, you know, in terms of a lead. Also, even in the items, kind of fall into place. These first items, you already talked about the Brute Force breastplate there. Berserker's Fury now available for King Kong here.
Interesting direction for Benny Cutie. He goes for the Thunderbelt first, and then eventually he'll go for the Sky Piercer. There it is already. Wow.
Just got that locked in. Could just be playing around the fact that you've seen it time and time again here, Leo. Like, how many times have they caught Brusco alone? You know, and if that continues to happen, whether that's JP, whether that's even Sanford pressing the situation, hell, whether it's Sanji, depending on the ultimate he takes, you can do so much by picking up an early Sky Piercer too for Benny Cutie.
Yeah, and it's not like he's gonna be laning with Kelra anymore. Like we're post laning phase, so he can actually just go ahead and poke out and then take kills as he would. We haven't really seen much of a play from Super Prince yet, so once we hit the power spike, once King Kong says it's go time, and when Brusco finds a better position, all right, that's a flicker coming off of cooldown. Should be a good start. Last turtle spawned up already, upper quarter, put out about half health. Neither team letting it go.
Carl TZ controlling it for now, but King Kong also around the corner. It's going to be Carl TZ that secures it up. Minoan's Fury into the last Insanity going to be used too. Sanji flickers out on the defensive, but how? King Kong will pick up a kill. They're forced back a little bit further, but they might want to pick for more. Sanford jumps in with the Infernal Pursuit onto the turret again. He finds the kill before going down himself, and they shut down Sanji on top of it. 3 down for TLPH. Benny Cutie on the hunt, looking for Brusco. But he's got the heal. And now the fight for the purple buff. Once again, the pull comes through from Kelrod. Super Prince will pick up that one. Not punishing it, TLPH.
The young goat may have bitten off more than he could chew. Wanted to go for the Grand Theft Purple, but instead got killed. And now it's Fnatic Onyx PH's turn to clap back. Look at this, Joseph. It's their turn for the GTP.
They're gonna go for it. King Kong around the corner.
He got it?
He got it as well. As you like to say, it's Grand Theft Purple.
Cyric Perez now has 3 stars. Whew. He has 3 stars. He stole the turtle and then he stole the purple.
You better lay low for a little bit.
You know, time it out. Change the color of his car, if you know what I'm saying. All right, about a minute until the Lord spawns. And for the first time, again, in this 8.5 minute bout, Fnatic Onic have the lead. It's a small lead, mind you, but they're a scaling lineup. It's just bound to go up from here unless Team Liquid PH has something to do.
Mind you, the TLPH had a 1.5K gold lead, and everything that just kind of happened there diminished it completely. And so they're back on even ground. They're back on good footing here. You can see some of these second items being picked up too. Even King Kong picked up the Haas Claws. Help them sustain a little bit more. They know that they can play around the fact that Brusco is going to be a lot of that healing for them. You know, even the fact that he has the Flask of the Oasis now, he might have dealt with hell in the beginning of the game, but now he's a little bit more, you know, stalwart. He can actually set up the way he wants to.
He's a little more rotund. He's a little stout.
Yeah.
And again, of all the members of Fnatic Onic PH, he's the one who can afford it.
Exactly.
He doesn't care. He's a roamer. He doesn't need any farm. He doesn't need any XP. He just needs to set. And so far, we haven't really seen much from Kelra and Super Prince. They're also building up quite a kit. So once they're ready, once they're all kitted out, I think maybe Super Prince needs one more item, whether that be a DG or an HC.
Yeah.
All the mages know what I'm talking about.
Divine Glaive.
And the Holy Crystal.
Holy
then
Crystal.
It's go time, right? I think Kelro is on his way to his third item. He's already rocking a War Axe and a Hunter Strike last we checked. This Lord is not free. For neither team, it's not free.
It's under half health here. King Kong's going to swing on in.
A fifth.
Was waiting for it. He's going to go in and reset a little bit. TLPH pulls it back out. Oh, Kelra checking the bush with the I'm offended.
That was a bold ult.
Yeah, not going to find anyone.
All right. This does put the Lord back up to 3/4 of its health. Easy deep into the pit. Now it's at half once more. It's odd to see a Lord dance like this where everyone is just willing to show themselves. This is as honest as it gets for Team Liquid. And look at that. Nice wave left out by Fnatic Onic up top.
So it goes in actually full reset. I mean, how many times do we actually see this, Leo? Like an actual Lord dance or tango, whichever you want to call it, but it's actually both teams just really feeling out the space to work with here. See Benny Cutie gets the information that Fnatic's getting in position. They got to get in position themselves.
Already a minute and counting for this Lord Shuffle. We'll call the Lord Shuffle.
All right, I like it.
And they keep going back and forth. Lord still here at about half health. The diversion play set up down. The long bush, Sanji and the Y. Lord at a fourth.
They might push it in one more time here. Sanford, front of it all. Fourth health on there. Oh, JP! Be able to find the implosion he's looking for. The knockup comes through, but Benny Cutie will pick up a kill. Kelra falls in the exchange, and Kirk as well. Brusco trying to run. King Kong caught off.
Oh!
There's the infernal pursuit again from Sanford, but Sanji will pick up and clean up the kill. TLPH got everything in that fight, and the Lord.
And they did not have to concede a single member. TLPH knocking down Fnatic Onic PH's door. They want your lunch money, and they're gonna take it. They might even take the game.
Okay, they got.
Oh no, there's just a
one
minion.
hit on the minion.
Woo!
But they got the Lord. They got a base turret.
Got a little carried away.
Yeah. Let's take a look at the Infinix replay here. It was a crazy fight again. How things got put into place.
Ah,
You saw it.
I see it.
You see it.
The knockups did Fnatic Onic PH dirty, and they.
The Lord Shuffle.
You know what I call that?
What do you call it?
Symphony of CC.
Yeah.
It's a lot of crowd control from Team Liquid PH that came out at the picture-perfect moment. And you know what? Something that I think I understand now why 4D picked up the flicker.
Why is it?
It's to close the gap and make TLPH's effective combat zone much, much larger.
Well, they're going to do it again. Punching in their own last insanity against Kirk. Kirk, Frogo armor already going to be popped. They got to deal with this Lord. It's only a fourth of the health.
It's over.
They lose that bottom turret. Base is going to be worked on. There's a huge pull from Kelra, though. With the I'm offended. They're going to force them back a little bit further. Temps of Blades already going to be used. Cardinal TZ will go down. The base still up for now. King Kong jumps in the front side. Do they still want more? TLPH stopped in the tracks from ending game one, and they're still on the hunt as JP falls in the mid lane. They might be hunting Benny Cutie, but I guess Fnatic Onic decides to just go ahead and focus on the turrets in the mid.
Fnatic Onic PH making me eat my words. It's not over, Leo. It's not over. They take 3 free kills, and now they're reclaiming a huge chunk of the map. Tier 2 in mid. Gonna go down here. Joseph,
It's crazy.
I am flummoxed. I am baffled. I'm perplexed.
Hey, you know what else they heard earlier, Leo? They were saying, you know, you pointed out Kelra, Super Prince. You were waiting for that moment for them to come online, and that defense was both of their times. Kelra especially, finding 3 with the I'm offended, forcing TLPH to fight in a position they didn't want to be in, is what helped them stay into this game here for Fnatic Onic.
Makes sense now why they say it's our time, it's Onic time. 30 seconds up until the next Lord spawns, and TLPH are sitting on a, I'd say at this point, relatively mum 2,000 gold.
Yeah.
Looking at the items, King Kong just picked up the Endless Battle, so he should be able to burst down Sanji if he chose to. Maybe even
BOD too.
Benny. All right, you know what? I think, give or take, Prince might be 1,000 or so gold away from a Winter Crown. He needs that, though. I'm telling you now, man, he needs that.
He does, especially defensively. Carl TZ picks up one of the items you mentioned earlier on, too. Divine Glaive now for this Julian from Carl TZ.
Oh, about another shuffle.
Go ahead and start up. Kelra goes in for the pull. They find a couple knockups on Sanford. He's got to flicker out defensively.
There's another use for the flicker.
There is another use, even if it's on the defense. Fourth of the health on the Lord here. Who's going to grab it? JP goes in with the implosion, and Carl Teasy will get the Lord. And now JP in trouble as King Kong looks for more. Diversion going to be used. They're looking for the cutoff on Sanji. They pull him with Kaura. They'll get the double. Can they possibly get another as Carl Teasy falls? Benny Cutie versus the world of Fnatic Onic Philippines. He bobs, he weaves. He runs for his life.
Oh no, the hunter has become the hunted!
But it's only him. He's going to wait patiently in the bush. Meanwhile, Fnatic Onic Philippines will go ahead and work around. They've got to deal with the Lord that Carl Teasy got earlier.
What a nail-biter of a game so far. 15 minutes in, 13-9 off the back of a Lord secure. Fnatic Onic PH have flipped the table on Team Liquid. Joseph, they made quick work of that Lord. Not just that. Again, King Kong committed Grand Theft Purple. There's nothing for Carl Teasy to get if he does get out to his bush.
Takes what he can. Or takes what he can.
No, there's an orange left.
There's an orange left at that point. King Kong, really confident with the Ling pick too. You know, it was a little bit difficult, like I said, in the early game for them, even for Brusco. But this time around, Brusco, he hasn't died since what? I don't know, the 5th or 6th minute of the game.
That's not even the thing, like the fact that he keeps finding these sets too.
Yeah.
And he keeps everyone topped up.
He does it also against what JP has been doing time and time again. JP is the one a lot of times starting off with an implosion. And there's a great counter to it with this lineup from Fnatic Onic Philippines.
And not to mention Kelra, such a tempo breaker. And speaking of breakers, what an ankle breaker diversion by Super Friends. We keep looking for moments. We keep looking for big moments and plays from Fnatic Onic. How about now? How about that diversion to the mid by Super Friends that allowed them to take down Sanji, take down a majority of Team Liquid PH?
I guess even with everything happening this way, it makes you wonder, right? Like, how is this next Lord going to go? Because even the last one where they started the fight up, they started the control for Fnatic Onic, but Carl Teasy came in, and that's always something that they have to worry about. Because even if they win some of those skirmishes, some of those fights, they got to be able to lock down that Lord too. That's really what needs to fall into place here for Fnatic Onic Philippines. And I would say Liquid knows this. Like Liquid, the way that they're playing, the way that they're approaching these fights is with that in mind. And so that's the question here, especially for JP, on how he's going to utilize his implosion for this next fight up.
And he does have an immortality, so it's easier said than done!
He goes in, concealed, but they don't pull off the implosion. It was just some pressure here for that purple buff, even though Sanford takes half his health away.
That's unfortunate. You see what King Kong did? He committed
the
the Tempest
retribution.
of Blades and the Retribution for
Doesn't have it.
nothing.
So now, do they stall out this Lord for enough time, even for 15 seconds for King Kong to have the Retribution? It looks like they will be able to do that. Because even for Liquid Echo, they got to be careful on how they approach this fight.
All right. Luckily, I think they do have time. The shuffle can commence. And I was going to say, to be able to get this Lord or to be able to win anything on the map for Fnatic Onic PH, not just win the fight, but win parts of the map, they need to push his tier 1 down bottom. That's what King Kong is getting to. Yeah, just send a big fat wave down there and then go to the Lord. But I think TLPH aren't allowing for that. They're going for the blitz.
They're going to force him here to fight. Once again, Kirk in front of the side here. Super Prince also trying to zone them out the best way he can. You got to watch out for JP. JP still holds on to the flicker and the implosion. He's going to go in. He's going to be able to find two, but King Kong will get the Lord. And now they're going to break out the fight. A huge setup from Brusco as they force them back a little bit further. Sanford goes in with the Infernal Pursuit, but JP will fall. Even with the Winter's Crown, Carl Teasy, it's not enough. As it's a double for Super Prince. And 4 are taken out from TLPH.
Deja vu. It's just Benny left standing. And this time around, Joseph, Fnatic Onic PH get the Lord.
That's all they needed to do there. What can Benny Cutie do? He's going to try to just
cut the wave.
Cut the wave, but he's got to go back to the base.
Oh, no. There's a huge Lord up top. That's evolved. There's 3 members. Make that 4. Fnatic Onic down mid. Can Benny do this?
Benny. Can you clear the minion out? Winter's Crown to keep it there a little longer. Sanji comes up. Benny Cutie's taken care of, though, as the base is going to be worked on. Brusco sets things up with Mio and Fury. And JP pops the Implosion next. They're going to be waiting for Carl Teasy to join